In this video, we're going to show you everything you need to know when it comes to getting ready for certified events and using the Just Play Recruiting Coordinator app. First, we're going to go over to the left side down to our recruits area and then to events. This is where we are going to start with what we like to call our pre-event workflow. This consists of adding events to your system, assigning coaches to those events, and adding your recruits to those events. So first, we're going to add events to our system. So we're going to go up to add new event in the top right corner and click on certified events. We cover 100% of NCAA certified events. So as long as it is an NCAA certified event, you will see it here in this list. You can go ahead and search any events over here using the search bar. You can either search the tournament name, the location, date, anything you need to search right here in this bar. So we're going to go ahead and add Georgia Cup Finals, and this is the event we are going to use. So we're going to click submit, and now we have that event added to our system. Next, we want to assign coaches to these events. You can do this in two ways right here on this screen by assigning the entire event to those coaches. It is important to assign events or games to coaches that you want to be able to see this event on their app. Right now, if I toggle over to my app, you'll see I do not see any events here. That is because this event is not assigned to me. If you are the person doing most of the work when it comes to setting up these events in your team admin, I would go ahead and assign this entire event to yourself so you can see every game and manage that for your other staff members on the app. So I'm going to go ahead and assign this to myself. And now on the app, you will see that event right here. This will give me the ability to see every game in this event on my app. Now I can jump into our event and we're going to start assigning our recruits to this event. Jumping into the event, you're first going to come in on the schedule tab, and this is going to show you all of the games at this event. From here, we want to tell the system which recruits are going to this event and what teams they're going to be on so that we can map them and only see those games that we care about. You can get there in two ways. You can click on teams and recruits and it'll bring you to the mapping window right here. Or if you just click the red mapping button up in the top right, it will bring you to that same spot. This gives you the ability to map recruits and teams in this event. Mapping recruits, all you have to do is open up the dropdown, click add recruit, and now you're going to search for the recruits in your recruiting database and add them to this event. You can type any letters in here and they will pop up below. I'll go ahead and start adding some recruits here. You can come in and really add whatever recruits you want all in one swoop right here. So let's just add these three. And then now you're going to be able to choose what team they are on at this event. You'll see this map 2 drop down right here. This is going to show you every team that is at the event. I can go ahead and just type anything I want here, and then we can pick and choose what teams these players are on. So let's say this person is on this one and map these players all the way on down. You'll see the division of the team that you're mapping this player to right next to that team. And then our team over here on the right, this is just telling you what team you have this recruit on in your recruiting database. These may not match up if your recruits are playing on different teams for this event, but just so you can remember what team they're on, you'll see that over here on the right. Once you have your recruits mapped and good to go, just come up here and make sure you click your save mapping button. This will not autosave, so just whenever you are adding recruits and mapping them to teams, just make sure you click save mapping so you're good to go. Down below, you can map via teams, which is a little bit different than mapping via recruits. This is good for when you have a bunch of recruits that you're looking at on one team in your database. You can go ahead and just add the team instead of adding each individual recruit. So you'll see right here, I typed in Team Trae Young and I have these 4 recruits tied to this team. Now I can map them to whatever team they're actually on at this event. So let's say they're playing champion's chance is the actual team. Once again, I'll go up and click Save Mapping, and now we'll have all 4 of these recruits mapped to Team Trae Young. If you want to remove any recruits, all you got to do is click that drop down here. If you click Clear Mapping, it will just clear this mapping out and leave the recruit there. As you can see here, if you want to completely delete the recruit, I'll click Remove, and it will delete that recruit out for you. Toggling down the line here, we can go to My Teams. This is going to show you any of those teams that you mapped via Teams in the mapping window that I just showed you. So here I can drop that down and see the schedule for this team right here. Same thing in Recruits. This is going to show you all of the recruits you mapped over in the mapping window and give you their schedules when you drop that down. And then you also have the attending teams list here, which is already grouped by division for you. This gives you the ability to open up the drop down and come in and follow different teams. If you have teams that you might want to watch while you're at this event, but you don't have any specific recruits on those teams yet, we do recommend to come in and just follow those teams so that you can still keep track of their schedules without actually having any recruits added. I'll go ahead and click Follow Team on a couple of them. And now we are following those teams. So now when I jump back to the schedule tab, we're still seeing all of the games here. To break that down a little bit, I can click Only Show Mapped Games right here, and it's only going to show us those games that we just said we care about since we mapped those recruits to those teams or we followed them. In green right here, that means we have a recruit mapped to that team. The blue highlights here means we are following that team. So now we can see all of those games we care about. And now we want to assign coaches to these individual games. So like I said before, you want to assign the entire event to yourself if you're the person that is managing this so that you can see every game on the app. But for your coaches, it's probably good to just go ahead and assign individual games that you want them to go to so they don't have to see all of the games at the event that they're not going to be watching. So here I can go ahead and just assign a couple games to myself. Obviously, once you have your full staff in your account, all of those members will open up and you can assign individual games to those staff members here. The Assign Games tab here is going to show you just those games that you have assigned to individuals, not the entire event. So you just saw me assign 2 games to myself, and that's what you're seeing in the Assign Games tab here. You also have the Info tab. This is just going to show you all of the different locations that the event is being played at. And then if there are any changes to any of the games here that you have said that you care about, you will get notifications that will pop up here just so you know. Now you can either print or you can go look at it on the app. Click on Print. This gives you the ability to print out all of these games right here in a couple of different ways. So you have 2 different layouts, whether that's grid or list. You can include a cover page or separate by venue right here. And you can also break down what you want to see on that printout, and then we'll show you what you want down below. So let's say I only want those games that we said we care about, and I only want to see games on Friday. So you're seeing that down below. There's a lot of different ways that you can filter this down, but once you click print, it will bring you to the print window and show you what you want. Up top here on this first page, that is what we call the cover page. It's really just telling you what recruits and teams you have mapped at this event. So you can turn that on and off using this checkbox over here. And then you also have a couple of different options over here on the side menu. Here are those games with the assigned coach next to that game as well. Now we can jump over to the Recruit app. Before, I showed you when I assigned this event to myself, the entire event popped up on my app. So now I can jump into these Georgia Cup finals. First, it is going to show you all of the games that we just said we care about. First, you're going to see these game cards. So to break down the game card here, you're going to see the time of the game in the time zone that you're currently in, not the time zone of the event. Next, you're going to see these badges, which are going to show you the division of the game. And also this is going to show you the location. And if you click on this, it will open up Google Maps for you and give you turn-by-turn directions. Next, you're going to see who's playing in the game, still keeping those color codes for mapping and following teams. So green means we have mapped this recruit to them. Scrolling down, blue means we have followed this team. You can follow teams in the app right here as well by just clicking this plus, and you'll see that change in the background on our team admin side. You can also remap teams if you would like by clicking on that mapping button, and then you can go to recruits and remap those, which we'll show you when we jump into that game card. Down below, you can see who is assigned to this game, and you can also assign games to coaches from the app, so you don't always have to be on your desktop by just clicking on that star and assigning your staff members there as well. The video icon right here is going to take you to the link for the streaming service of this event if they have it. So not all events will have this, but if you do see this icon, it will just bring you to that website where they're streaming the event. And you also have the ability to check this box to show who attended this game for compliance purposes at the end of the event. You have the ability to sort these games by whatever you want, whether it's court, day, time, anything like that. Right now it is by our recruits and teams, and you can also filter down what you want to see as well when it comes to court, division, staff members, seeing past games or not. You have plenty of options here to see exactly what you want on the app. Jumping into a game card, you're going to see any recruits that are mapped to a team down below here. You can also add a recruit. So if you see a recruit at this game that you want to add to your database, just click add recruit and fill that stuff out, and that will add that recruit to your database. Or maybe you have seen a recruit that's playing on one of these teams that you already have in your database, but you didn't know they were on that team. So I could just click my recruits and search our entire recruiting database and add that player to either one of these teams. You can also jump into a recruit's profile here, and you can adjust any information that you want in their bio. You can add a note by clicking add note and typing whatever you want in the box and clicking save. This will allow any of your other staff members to see this note as well. So as you're out on the road, everybody can see any notes that you have made for any recruits that you've watched. You can add to a list, which we showed you how to create lists in a previous video, and here you can add to any of those manual lists as well as create a new list. When I click on the games tab here, this will show me any games that this recruit is playing in at this event. And then the activity tab is kind of like a Twitter feed, which will show you anything that's been done to this recruit, whether somebody edited their bio information, added any notes, or anything like that right here. Clicking back out. Right now, this is on the schedule tab. We can go over to recruits and see all of the recruits we have in this event right here. We can change that by clicking on the sort options above, and we can search any recruits in the search bar right here, as well as add them with the plus. Going over to teams, that's going to show you the same thing when it comes to what teams we have tied to this event right here, as well as all of the attending teams split up by their division down below. Utilize that search bar to find those teams that you would like. And then once again, that info tab is going to show you your venues, and the notifications tab will show you any changes to any games that you have added in this event. Lastly, we can toggle over to activity, and this is going to be once again like a Twitter feed for whatever your coaches are doing at the different events. So any notes that are created, any players that are added to your database, you're all going to be able to see that right here on your app, so everybody can stay in touch on the players that you are liking as you are at these events. Lastly, all recruits is just going to show you every recruit you have in your recruiting database, like we have touched on in previous videos. And this is everything you need to know to get started with JustPlay's recruiting coordinator when it comes to certified events.